So it is official as of right now. The government has shut down. They could not pass a bill right before midnight when the government was set to shut down. Now, most of us are like, how does this affect me, right? Where I'm not a government worker, I'm not a government employee, I don't contract with the government. What actually happens during a government shutdown? I think that's something that people don't realize. So the last time the government shut down was in 2019, which is also under Trump. And I mean, the world kept spinning, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you basically how it got to this point and what happens next. The last government shutdown, I think, lasted 20 or 30 days. So I'm sure this probably won't go on for too long. Let's just jump right into this. So basically what happened was last night, they were trying to agree on a bill to fund the government, and the bill failed 55 to 45. So with bills like this, there's something called filibuster where you need to have 60 votes. So there's many bills where you only need like 51 to pass the Senate, but with this bill you need 60. So there was 3 Democrats that actually voted alongside Republicans in passing this, which is John Fetterman, Cortez Masco, and someone with the last name King. I don't know what the first name is. And then the rest voted no. Now, if it was all Republicans voting yes, it would be 56 votes. But Rand Paul voted no because Rand Paul votes no on everything. Pretty much no matter what, any kind of government spending, Rand Paul votes no on. So, and this comes from, this is from the New York Times or whatever. So this would have funded the government for what, 7 more weeks. The Democrats are holding off because they want healthcare stuff added to it. So basically, this is usually just kind of, it's what this is supposed to be. The continuing resolution bill is supposed to be basically a bare minimum, like fund the government. That's it. It's not supposed to do all this extra stuff. So a lot of times during the Biden administration, these bills would be like 1,500 pages because people would throw all this stuff in and then they would guilt trip you. They would be like, oh, I want to throw this useless government spending. And then they would say no to it. Like, oh, well, you don't want people to have jobs. You want government workers to not be paid. Like that's how they work. So it'd be like 1,500 pages. The Republicans, ever since they took over, have gotten it down to like 100 and some pages. It's a lot smaller, a lot cleaner, as they like to say, which I agree it is. It should just be basic minimums to fund the government. What the Democrats are doing right now is basically that a lot of healthcare spending cuts were taken from the One Big Beautiful Bill. So they're trying to use this as like leverage to try to get some of that back. So they're essentially forcing a shutdown. It looks worse on the Republicans because the Republicans are in control. They do have the House and the Senate. So it does fall kind of on them. But that's basically what the holdup is. And then people like Fetterman, the others are like, let's just get through this for now and then we'll worry about that stuff later. So they had a previous bill too that was 47 to 53 where they tried to add the healthcare stuff back on. The Republicans said no to it. All the Democrats voted yes. So that failed too. Speaker Johnson has an interesting point here when it comes to this clean continuous resolution bill. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
There literally is nothing I can pull out of the CR to make it better. It is a nonpartisan CR that they've already voted for. Chuck Schumer already voted for this exact measure in March and said at the time it was the right thing to do. The only thing that changed between now and then is he's in more political jeopardy.
Well, they've also argued.
So basically, he's saying it's basically a similar bill that passed in March to fund the government. So it's everything. The funding is pretty much the exact same for everything you think of, everything government run, government funded, all the same. But like I said, the Democrats want to use this as kind of like a point to try to get back all these healthcare spendings, which is really interesting. To go on a little tangent here, Trump came out with this Trump RX thing yesterday, which sounds gimmicky because, you know, he does have to put his name on everything. But I do think it'll actually be good in the future. So basically what happens is it's kind of like Good RX. So for those of you who never use Good RX, it's good if you like don't have insurance. It's like discounted drug prices. So Pfizer is the first company to come out and said like these 4 drugs will put on there at way lower discounted rates, so people can buy these. And a lot of times, sometimes there are drugs that like insurance isn't covered to begin with, so that helps them too. It helps uninsured people, and it brings healthcare costs down too. And not only are these going to be on there, all these discount prices will apply to people on Medicaid too and Medicare. So then that's going to be less spending for Medicaid and Medicare. Now Pfizer took the lead. I guarantee you many other healthcare companies are going to be like, wow, we need to do this too, because this will not only help our image, but this will provide more business for us. So they're going to follow lead. So this is going to, I think, significantly bring down healthcare costs because some of these drugs are insanely expensive. And the left is always talking about reducing healthcare costs. Trump is doing that pretty much on his own, and no one gave him any credit for it yesterday. No one said anything good about it. They all kind of ignored it. So my point when I made a TikTok about this yesterday was like, if he's working on all these healthcare costs, because none of these healthcare cuts are talking about, some kick in at the end of this year. Most of them don't kick in until the end of next year. So there's time. So if he's able to get all these companies on Trump RX and all these companies have their drug costs contribute to Medicaid and Medicare spending, and all that spending comes down, why would we need extra healthcare spending in these bills? We wouldn't, because healthcare costs would be down. So it's all like slowly coming together. So I think this is going to be a losing battle for the Democrats. I think they're going to end up caving at some point, one at a time. Like I think they'll probably do a vote like a week from now, then one or two Democrats will vote for it. They'll feel pressure from their constituents to kind of bring this back. Lauren Boebert shared a Eric Swalwell saying, you voted for this budget before. So essentially, workers do go without pay. Some of them do, and some get like a temporary layoff. Okay, so these are essentially the government agencies that will have a lot of furloughs or layoffs. So the most impacted is the Environmental Protection Agency. About 13,000 will be temporarily laid off, which is 89% of them. Department of Education, 87%. Commerce, 81%. Labor, 76%. Goes on and so forth, right? So these are temporary layoffs, and when the government does come back in, they do get back pay. And I will say the reason they're guaranteed back pay is because of a bill Trump signed in 2019. So before that, they were never guaranteed it. So they all will get back pay. So it will be probably a little struggle for them right now, but some of them honestly might just be thinking of it as a vacation. I feel like as a government worker, you have to be prepared for this. So you should have some kind of money saved up for now, but they will get back pay. It's not like they're just, off unemployed for a month and then nothing happens. So it's just, I don't think it's that bad like people try to act like it is. So another thing too is that there are some employees of the federal government that do have to work right now, even though they're not getting paid, which that probably sucks. I would not want to work without getting paid. They will be getting back pay, but still, it's like you're working for like kind of nothing right now. So these are people like active duty military personnel. So I have a brother in the Army. He's stationed on the West Coast. Say he will not be getting paid right now. Air traffic controllers, TSA officers, federal law enforcement agents like Border Patrol and like any kind of federal officer, critical medical staff at VA hospitals. So all those people are required to keep working without pay right now. So if you're in the airport and you're having kind of an annoying day, and don't take it out on the TSA people, because right now they're working without money. Okay, they're already having a hard enough time it is. There are some people that, like I said, the place on furlough, mandatory temporary unpaid absence. Those are all the people I just listed. So the last time we had a government shutdown, 2018, 2019, approximately 380,000 employees were furloughed, 420 were required to work without pay. That sucks. Congressional Budget Office estimated that a full government shutdown could furlough as many 850,000 and 2.1 million non-postal federal employees. So it's definitely a big thing. It's full government, Paychecks and Paul's guaranteed back pay, though. So that's the important thing, guaranteed from the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019. So they will still get paid. So I think with federal contractors, they're basically kind of shut down right now because they're not getting paid either through that. So that is affected by it too. But like I said, I don't think this will be forever. It'll probably be a few weeks. It's just, both sides are kind of playing like kind of hard to get right now. Some more important things too, or some important things, if you're receiving Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, all that stuff, you're still getting. There's nothing saying you can't get any of that stuff. So it's just mainly if you're a government employee, you're affected. One thing that does drive me insane though, and everyone will probably agree with this, is that members of Congress and the president and the vice president all still get paid during this time. Why? I don't know. They all do still get paid. Let me ask, actually, let's see. Why don't we ask chat about that? Because that's interesting. When did it change to where Congress still gets paid during shutdown? I'm interested to see when this started because I feel like it wasn't always this way. The beginning of fiscal year 83. So we can thank Reagan for that. Come on, Reagan. That's stupid. Is when making a paper. See, this is what I think is stupid about stuff like that is that Congress right now, like, I guess you could see it both ways. So if Congress wasn't getting paid right now, you could say they're probably going to rush some garbage together because they want their paycheck. But then on the other hand, too, if they are getting paid, they might try hard to negotiate something because they know they're not affected by it. I personally don't think they should get paid during this time. I personally don't think they should get paid as high as they do. But nothing we can do about that right now. I don't think that's ever going to change. Yeah, but we'll see what happens with this. I don't think this will go on for long. If 3 Democrats are already crossing the line to vote and they're already at 55-45, they just need 5 more votes. If they reconvene, they'll probably reconvene on Monday, I'm assuming, to probably negotiate this more. And I guarantee a few more Democrats will cross the line and a few more. And it's just, I think it'll be fine. There's no, like with the Senate where it needs to get 60 votes, the House isn't like that. It just needs to be majority. So the House is pretty much secure. You just need to get 5 more Democrats. 5 more moderate Democrats that are thinking, wow, I just need to help my constituents out. Wow, I need to just get this by. Because in reality, all this Medicaid, Medicare stuff is, it shouldn't be the CR should be a basic funding of the government. It shouldn't be all this extra shit that the Democrats like to do under the Biden administration, where they're having like 1,500 pages of these bills for a CR. It's ridiculous. It should be the bare minimum. You can propose other bills later. If your party's not in power, it sucks for you, but you can run on that, campaign on that, try to get people to vote for you. As of right now, it is what it is. But I think most of us will probably be like, not even notice. Even the stock market isn't going to be fazed by it. Like the futures for today, it's a little red, but it's not like a significant drop like a stock market crash, because this doesn't really affect most people's day-to-day lives. It doesn't. Like people still get back pay, benefits are still there. Some people get like a little mini vacation. So let me know what you guys think about the government shutdown, if you're personally affected by it, or what you guys think, how long you think this will go on for. People will cross the line. If you think this whole thing's stupid, let me know, and I'll catch you next time.